Dundalk TV is with Joseph,
Ruscito.
and we are at the American Legion in Parkton. And Pat McDonough had just spoken, and Joe came out, and Joe really wants to help Pat McDonough win this race. So, Joe, what did you think about Pat's speech today, and why do you feel so passionate about supporting him?
Yeah, I love Pat, and I love Pat from way back when, and I'm talking 20-some years ago. So great guy. The message couldn't be any more representative to what we've got going on these days. So, he's in touch with, I think, the average, everyday working person that's, struggling day to day and really week to week, and that's what we need. There's a movement that just in this country and in this county as well, that just seems to be taking us way too far into a direction that we can't even financially support. So, I really love to hear Pat's conservative message.
Okay, now what part of town were you from?
Oh, I'm from the Lower East Side, really, originally. Right, this is Dundalk bred and raised, Dundalk Rosedale area. Over the years, things have changed for me. I live out here in the Parkton area, and I love it. And it's a beautiful area, and so you can't take the Dundalk out of the boy. So
but Pat has a lot of support down there. But what are you seeing in this area now? That's what I wanted to get to. So what are you seeing in this area that people want, and you think Pat will be successful in this area?
Well, like I said, I think it's maintaining the conservative message. It's looking forward and seeing how some of the financial responsibilities that we have are maintained, and we maintain, I think, even our green spaces, right, represented. So a lot of the expansion into the area here with invade our green spaces are an issue. Common Core is a major issue. It directly affected this area with Hereford High School. I can tell you that as a parent, raising two children and going through the school system with the 7th schedule and the AB class schedule is very difficult. Let me just say that when we moved here, the Hereford School in particular had a 4 schedule day for the kids, and we're busy as a single parent for a period of time. Raising 2 kids, it's very difficult. So, and you absolutely have to stay with, on top of the children, their studies, involved with the teachers. So now when you move from 4 to 7, and 4, by the way, is also exactly what they're going to go through when they end up in college. Common Core changed that for us here in the Hereford district, moved us from a 4 to a 7-day schedule, and now we see the lack of interest in homework. There's a lot of changes that Common Core has brought to us we do not like, and I was really glad to hear him speak about that and his opposition to it, in fact. So that's very important. My 2 children have grown, and they're out of the Hereford School district now and into college, but for the kids coming up and for the parents, they should have it. Should go back.
Okay, so also there was he brought out about how he is going to be addressing the crime problem and also the drug problem. So we have a big drug problem. So what did you think about Pat's vision for that?
Yeah, I'm glad he's in touch with it, and for one reason, the main reason is that, and some people I think have the idea that there may not be a crime problem, a drug problem here, but there is. There very much is. The heroin issue is large here. It's pervasive. It's subtle in ways that people don't actually know about it, with the exception of the families. And there are a lot of families out here that are just as affected as the suburbs closer to the city and even in the city. So it's good that he recognizes that. It is a monumental, let's face it, it's a monumental issue, still in kind of in its development or understanding stage, and so to know that he's in touch with that is very important. Yeah.
Now, you were a Democrat for many years, and you have decided to change to Republican. Now, what made you want to make that change? And since you have, I know that you had to really think pretty long and hard about that. It just isn't something that happened overnight. So, what made you change your party affiliation, and how is that working out for you? And what would you say to your fellow Democrats? There are good Democrats out there, but you made the change. So what would you say to them as well?
Yeah, boy, this is a healthy question for me, because for years and years contemplating this question, and well, first I had to get approval from the matriarch of the family. Let me just say, and anybody that knows me and the family history with as a Democrat, and I have been a lifelong Democrat, and my father and uncle before, all coming from the Bethlehem Steel, good blue collar, Democrat environment. I had to get approval from my aunt, who's the last living, well, she's the matriarch of the family. So, and I remember calling her and actually asking her for approval, But all joking aside, seriously, the party has changed over the years, and I just don't feel in touch with it. My conservative nature, my fiscal responsibility to the social issues is really what drove me, to moving to the Republican Party. The Democratic Party, I just do not know what they're thinking these days, and on a national level, they've absolutely fallen apart. So, and I know there's plenty others out there like me. In fact, I can't wait to see the numbers through this next redistricting to see how many have actually switched and made the jump from Democrat to Republican. I'm glad to see, and I believe Pat did that too once long ago. So it's good to change. I feel a little more closer to the belief system that the Republican Party has now.
Now, are you do you plan on being active in Pat's campaign?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll give him a hand for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Now, so you're going to be working in your area?
Yep, I'll be working in my area for Pat. That's up west of Pretty Boy Reservoir, and without any exact details. But yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay, do you have an email address somebody can get in contact with you?
Yeah, if you need to get in contact with me, it's as easy as Joe Ruscito, JoeRuscito .net. At Comcast.net, excuse me.
Well, thank you very much, Joe. It was a pleasure to see you here today. I'm very happy to have you as a Facebook friend, and we will both work together and do our best to help Pat McDonough win and change Baltimore County, because it needs some serious change, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's got to be fun working with Pat. I love it.
Okay, thank you very much. Good to see you here today.